The following may contain strong opinionated views. The views and opinions expressed on this show does not necessarily reflect the views or the opinions of any social media or broadcast platform.
Hi, welcome to the Coffee Hour, a show that involves you in verbal interaction. Sports with Brian Camp. So settle in with coffee in hand and enjoy the Coffee Hour. Now here's your host, Frank Allan.
Well, what a wonderful Friday it is. TGIF, thank God it's Friday. We're so glad to have you aboard with us for another Friday. And the name of the show is called The Coffee Hour. My name is Frank Allan. We thank you so much for being aboard with us for this Friday. As usual, we come here every Friday and we get together, have a little conversation, a little coffee, and we're so glad to have you aboard with us. Now, those of you who've been around with us, you already know the drill. You already know the team. And we always thank you each week for being with us. You've been with us from all of these years up until now. And of course, for the people who are here possibly for the first time, maybe the first time today, or maybe you're a newcomer from last week or 2 weeks ago, and you're back again, well, we welcome you once again. You're just as important as the people who've been with us for a long time. And let me show you, just in case you don't know how the show operates, as the host of the show, I get things together and I start getting prepped up. And while I'm prepping for the show, as I'm doing right now, I invite you to stay at your keyboard, right, on your computer, on your cell phone, or even your tablet. And you could use that keyboard. You could type in whatever you want to type in. I will see you right there on the big screen, and I'll entertain all of your thoughts and ideas, because that's what this show is all about. It's free exchange of ideas and of opinions. And all of us have them. And since we do, what we want to do is take all of them, combine them together, and make a good conversation. So if there's anything in particular outside of what I start with that you want to talk about, please feel free, type it in there, and we're going to do our best to get all of the information in. And because if it's important to you, it's important to all of us. We've got a great show today. And of course, as usual, we're going to have great conversation. We're going to have what they would call verbal intercourse, right? Verbal, that is. And of course, all of us together with that. And today, Brian Camp with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update coming along with us. And later on in the program, too, I have those movies. Now, each week, I go into the Turner Classic Vault movies and pick out my picks of the week for your weekend. Because the weekend, as you know, is practically here. And of course, maybe you want to do something other than whatever you normally do. Maybe you want to catch up on some movies. You want to relax yourself. And of course, I want to stick my 2 cents into that one, because I have those movies and I am going to bring them to you. They're classic movies, whether they're black and white or color. They're classic from Turner Classic Movies. And I just want to add that to go along to your viewing list this weekend, if you do have one. And of course, a lot of other things is happening. So let's get started right away, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, all of the views and the opinions expressed on this show, Talkback Live, or I should say the Coffee Hour this time around, does not necessarily reflect the view or the opinion of the people of Facebook, YouTube, Zoom, or any other social media outlet. Okay. So with that being said, let's lift our cups, right, with our elements in it, because what would the coffee hour be without a little coffee? So excuse me while I shoot up. It's great. I'll have a little more later. We're going to take the train today, not in Charlotte, North Carolina, coming from Charlotte, North Carolina to New York, where Brian Camp, I can see he's rolling along right there.
You seem like you was about to do communion the way you was explaining everything. So I didn't want to interrupt and everything, but okay.
Yeah. Well, did you know that in my earlier days, before jumping on my career, I wanted to be a minister?
I heard about that, yes.
Yeah. Uh, so maybe that was it. I don't know. I don't know. Actually, a lot of people don't believe that. I tell them that I said, yeah, in my early days, I wanted to be a minister because I grew up in a Baptist church in Brooklyn, New York, called Holy Trinity Baptist Church. Thomas S. Hardman was the pastor there at the time when I was a little boy, and he
Remember
was
him?
such an inspiration to me, real
Yeah.
inspiration that I wanted to be just like him. But it didn't happen that way. What can I tell you?
It's
I
never
still
too late.
carry the faith anyway. I still carry the
But
faith.
yeah, you carry the faith, but it's never too late. I've seen a lady in my church. She's a mother. She's 85 years old, and she just preached her initial sermon a couple months ago. So never too late.
Well,
Never too late.
if that day ever comes, fine. If not, I'm content right now. So that's about
Okay.
it. So how you doing? I see you rolling along. Where are you? Do you know exactly where your location is at the moment as you go
Just
through
left.
the
Just we just left the station at Cary, North Carolina.
uh-huh.
So we en route going towards north, and there's a lot of stops in North Carolina. You gotta, you could be in Charlotte, but you hit every section of North Carolina. So that's where they stop at and everything from Durham as well
Hmm.
too. And
Yeah.
Raleigh is also another one. We even stopped by Greensboro. Who's gonna if Warren was on, I would have waved to Warren.
Well, you could wave to him. He's there.
Oh, okay. Oh,
He's there.
hi Warren.
He's watching us on Facebook this morning. He's
Okay.
there.
Right.
Yeah. So is Mary. Mary is there, but she's watching us on YouTube. And
Good
so
morning,
she says
Mary.
good morning. And uh, I guess they don't know. I must explain to them that Brian is on his way to New York. He's on a train, as you can already see. If you're watching the screen, you can see he's on a train on Amtrak, and he's on his way to New York for a quick stop. A quick stop.
Yes, it's going to be less than 24 hours. I'm going to pick up my granddaughter. She starts school on Tuesday. So
Hmm.
I'm going to get ready to pick her up and head back. Tomorrow morning, I have a 7:05 train back to Charlotte, North Carolina. So I'll get into New York sometime around tonight, around 8 o'clock or so, 8:30. And
Uh-huh.
I'm going to go pick her up. We're going to go back to Penn Station and spend the night there and then take the first train back. Nowhere else to spend the night. So rather spend the night at Penn Station than to miss out on my train.
What time is your train from Penn Station going back?
7:05.
Oh, 7:05.
No
Oh,
more.
so you have a little time to stay in New York, right? For a while.
No, I'll be
You
in
reach
tonight.
you be in tonight. What time will you be in tonight?
8:30 tonight.
8:30
8:30
tonight.
tonight. Yeah.
And
I'm going to pick up my granddaughter without a car. I'm not driving. Everything is public transportation. I'm taking the New York City subway. And
and
mhm.
your train is, wait a minute, you say your train is 7 o'clock. It's 7 o'clock in the morning?
Yes. Yes, it is.
What are you gonna do all of that time?
Go back to Penn Station and relax and find a place to lay my head down and with my
Oh
granddaughter
boy,
and
that's
watch Netflix and watch Prime Video. Oh, there's a lot to do to catch up on a lot of stuff on TV for sure. So I'll be fine.
maybe maybe I'll meet you at Penn Station.
Yeah. Okay, well
Maybe
that's up to you.
maybe I'll meet you at Penn Station. I don't know. Spend a little time anyway. Anyway, yeah. So Warren has 76 degrees outside and it's cloudy. It's going up to 83 degrees today with rain. And we had our share of rain last night. I needn't tell you about that. I'll tell you about the weather forecast later. No, Mary, Brian is on a train. He's not on a bus. He's on a train and he's chugging along and he'll be to New York pretty soon. And we'll see what happens. But the weather looks good so far. You're passing good weather so far. I can see the sun is out over there where you are.
It's partly sunny, partly
Uh-huh.
cloudy, whatever one you want to pick. But
Yeah.
it's a little overcast right now.
Hmm.
Sun is not fully out. I don't know. I don't expect it. Who knows? And by the time I reach Virginia, maybe the sun will be out. But we're going to be going from North Carolina to Virginia to DC. We just landed. We just stopped at Raleigh. As you can hear the PA system, we are now stopping at
Oh,
Raleigh, North Carolina.
okay. And your next stop is Willoughby. Next stop, Willoughby.
Something like that. Yeah.
The Twilight, that was a little Twilight Zone action. In case you didn't know, in case you think I'm going crazy, I was take that's a something that's taken from the Twilight Zone. And so far, how many stops you have made so far up until now? I see you stopped already.
Yeah, we just stopped now. I fell asleep. I don't know. You know, when you out like a light, you know, let me tell you about Amtrak. It's great. Plenty of leg room. You could get on your computer. You know, you got to bring your, you know, your electronics. You know, you got to bring your phone. You got to bring your computer. You got to bring your music. So I got like 3 or 4 devices that I brought just to entertain me, just for the time to go by. But I got a lot of catching up to do on Netflix and on Prime Video, and also on Hulu also as well too.
Yeah. Well, you know, you're going to run into some good weather today. We've got good weather for you. I'm going to tell you more about that later. So you don't have I don't think you have to use your umbrella, but I'll tell you more about that later. For the rest of you, if you're just joining us and you want to join in conversation, you can do what Warren did. You could post your weather forecast only if you're out of the state, out of the city, you know, in another country, because we want to compare my weather to your weather, to the weather in North Carolina, and passing weather where Brian is just passing through. So the weather might change when he stops. So I don't know. I don't know how it goes. But anyway, you give us your weather forecast, and we really would appreciate that. It's not mandatory, but it's something that we like to do. And for those of you who live in New York and even in the vicinity of New York, you don't have to worry about that, because I will take care of all of that for you. The local weather here in New York, I'll give you that in just a few minutes. So here we are. We're finally losing traction on this month. Here we are. It's the month of August, and it's the 21st day of August. And before you know it, we'll be in September. The kids are going back to school, and I know a lot of parents are eager to do that. It's not as easy as it was before, being at the times that we are in today, but people are doing the best they can to make sure that their kids have the supplies that they need to go back to school, the clothes to wear, and all of those kind of things. But that's another show. That's something that we could talk about a little later on. But everyone is doing the best they can. Also, since we're talking about school, that kind of coincides with what I'm going to get ready to tell you right now, that that we're celebrating. Well, not celebration. This is not a celebration, but it's just a reminder to you all month long. We've been talking about it all month long. It's immunization month. That's immunization awareness month. That means, you know, you want to go out and get all the shots that are available to you. The flu season is coming up. I told a lot of you people at one particular time that I talked to my pharmacist, and they didn't know when the shots for COVID is coming around. And those of you who didn't tune into the show last night, I'm happy to tell you that if you're worried about the COVID updates, well, it's coming along. It will be here. It will be here. I just found out. I researched it and found out other ways, and I found out that it's going to be coming up in the fall. Now, when they say the fall, I don't know. That could be next month or the month after. I don't know. But we'll keep our eyes and ears open. If anything else changes with that, I will let you know. But so far, you're able to get that. COVID-19, that's the updated version. And a lot of people want to know about that. And of course, the flu, we're going to be talking about that too. That's available now. So if you can go to your local pharmacy and make an appointment, or just walk right in, or however they do it, you go there and get yours. That's an update. So we just want to remind you about that. You know, yesterday, Brian, was National Radio Day. I didn't mention it last night on the show, but it was National Radio Day. And I saw a lot of postings. I posted one myself of a picture, of an old picture, a younger me sitting at a outdated control board. and I posted that and said happy happy National Radio Day. And a lot of my colleagues from way back when, they were out there posting, their pictures, and we always acknowledge when it comes something to radio or something. We always acknowledge that. We always do that. So
But you got to understand something. Radio has played a huge part in American history because when we didn't have television, we had soap operas on the radio. We had
mhm.
theater. It was theater on the radio. We couldn't see it. We had games on the radio. We had fights on the radio, baseball, basketball, football, you
Yep,
name it. So
yep,
radio plays a major part before even TV ever came about.
that's
So
right.
so we owe radio a lot because it
Yeah,
kept us informed and everything.
yeah.
You know, you know,
And
absolutely.
when they used radio back in those days, like you say, it was before TV. So they had to use their imaginations when they listened to those soap operas and all of those dramas on radio. They had to use their imaginations. That's why they called radio back in those days the theater of the mind. You
Yeah.
have to use and a lot of great people, comedians started in radio, Bob Hope, Bing Crosby, Jack Benny, all of those radio shows they had. And you know something, I have a collection of old radio shows. I like to collect all of those things. I have a collection of all those old radio shows, the Abbott and Costello shows, along with Jack Benny and Bing Crosby and Bob Hope. And I have some Frank Sinatra stuff. I just collect radio. I just love radio. And even today, if I can find it, if I don't have it, I look it up and I try to find it. And it's easy to check out those old broadcasts. It's easier now than it was before because now you have YouTube, and YouTube is the best place to go for any kind of audio or visual that you would like to check out.
But also as well too, the late John Sterling um, had a choice.
Mhm,
He just passed away not too long ago, but
mhm,
he was a broadcaster for many years, and he was currently at that time just retired from being a Yankee broadcaster. He had a
mhm,
choice with either to go on the TV side
mhm.
or stay on the radio side. He chose to stay on the radio side because that was
Yeah,
his comfort zone and everything.
yeah,
And I'm pretty sure I don't know much about the radio and TV, but I'm pretty sure radio personalities look at it like this. Why should I dress up in a suit? I have to come as I am. They can't see me, so I'd rather be on the radio side where's that mandatory? I guess I don't know. I guess it's not mandatory to dress where you have to have a suit and tie if you're on the radio side because you can't see. Because like I said just a little while ago, you depended on the radio. I
yeah,
remember the 1977, 78 New York City blackout. And it's so ironic, John Sterling was pulling the game. And before the lights blew out, I was in a dark room listening to a Yankee game. And before you know it, he said, "This ball is hit. It's going, it's going, it's going." And then shut off. But that was the last voice you heard because the TV was out. The TV was blacked out. It was just the radio. So I salute the people that are still in radio, remain in radio, and radio plays still a major part in our everyday lives.
yeah. Radio people in the early days, they did wear suits on the air. They didn't have to. I guess that was like a corporate thing, something figuring that they just want to look professional. As you say, you don't need to dress up. People go to work now in their well, not quite that extreme, but you get the
Yeah,
idea. They do their work on with t-shirts on, sneakers or whatever, because people don't see you. That's the beauty about radio. People don't see what you're doing. People have
that's
to
right.
imagine it. They have to
Yeah.
imagine it. And the other thing about radio that I like being in it is that the most entertaining part, the best part of radio is what you don't hear, which is behind the scenes.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's that which we can't broadcast, which we never could broadcast. But that was the best part of radio. The radio that you couldn't hear. All you heard was the music, but behind when the mic was cut off, oh boy, that conversation with the workers are something else. Something else. That was it. Anyway, thanks for joining us. Again, if you're just joining us, the name of the show is called The Coffee Hour. And of course, we're going to be with you for the entire hour, for the rest of the hour. So I'm going to get with the weather forecast right now. Those of you who are watching us right now, give us your weather forecast, if you will. We would love to hear your side of the story, what your weather's like wherever you are, so we can compare to the weather where we are right now. Now, it's 73 degrees at the moment here in New York City. We've got 73 degrees right now in New York City. And well, listen to what we have. You're going to be coming in on good weather later on, Brian. It's going to be sunshine and clouds mixed together. We'll have a high 78 degrees. Winds will be northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. For tonight, mostly cloudy. We'll have a low 68, and winds will be light and variable. Now, for Saturday, my favorite day of the week, it looks good so far. It says mostly cloudy, but no rain in the forecast. I said looks good, but no rain in the forecast at this point. Mostly cloudy skies. We'll have a high 77. Winds will be east at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Saturday night will be partly to mostly cloudy with scattered showers and thunderstorms developing late at night, but you'll be gone by then. And we'll have a low around 70 degrees. Winds will be east southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of rain will be 50%. And as you head out to church tomorrow, you're going to have showers and a possible thunderstorm in the morning. Will give way to partly cloudy skies later on. You will have a high 81, and winds will be south-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of rain 70%. So we go back to our present temperature. As I already told you, is 73 degrees in New York City. So keep them all coming in. Brian, what's happening in sports today?
Nothing much really. The LA Lakers have sold their team again. The Buss family, Dr. Jerry Buss, the late Dr. Jerry Buss, who was the founder, the owner of the LA Lakers, who bought the team many years ago. And then after he passed away, he left it to his 5 children, particularly his daughter, Jeannie Buss, because Jeannie Buss was the one that showed interest in the organization of the Lakers. Now, you got to understand, the Buss family owns various sport teams throughout sports. There's ownership of the Dodgers. There's partial ownership of the soccer team, the Los Angeles. But they had sold the team almost a year ago to a group of guys. Um, and what happened was they the person that they sold it to decided to sell it again. Jeannie Buss stayed with the organization for the limited time because she still had minority ownership. Now that her and her siblings, Johnny, Jimmy, Jamie, Joey, and Jesse, um, now decided as a family of all the siblings that they was going to sell their share. So it got to go through a vote, and we're going to wait and see what's going to happen. But with the siblings, it was never an easy path. Right? Just like what you said last time, siblings do have disagreements and everything, and they're no different from any other family. So the siblings in the Buss family were at not at odds, but they had different of opinions. Now they did bicker over the years while Dr. Jerry Buss was alive, but now they have conclusion where, okay, let's sell it all. And Jeannie Buss is now going to either sell her shares as well. So she was the governor, even though she was the minority owner, but she was in charge of everyday operation, what goes on in trades and free agency and stuff like that. So it was ugly for a while, still may get a little ugly, but they still have to take a vote on the matter. Um, the sale of the remaining shares does go through, Jeannie will lose her statute as governor of the franchise, so she will be out completely. She had a previous deal with Walter. Am I saying his name right? Kush, is it Kush? Um, Remain as governor through 2030, which she could be removed before 2030. So we're going to have to wait and see. But this will go to a vote. But it looked like that the Buss family will part ways with the LA Lakers. They will still have ownership with other sports in the Los Angeles area. But $4.5 billion, great thing. Great, great sale, and they get more money than they had sold it, had purchased it for. To stay in sports, on 21st, 1901, to Joe McGinney, suspended from Major League Baseball for punching and spitting on an umpire, Tom Connolly, in a 5-2 loss to the Detroit Tigers. The lifetime suspension has been reduced to 12 days. Ted Williams, believe it or not, I know a lot of fans. I got destroyed on social media. The great Ted Williams did not have a great relationship with sports writers. They did not have a great relationship with the fans. Um, Insulting to a lot of the sports writers and to the fans as well too. So in this case, Joe Joe McGinney was supposed to have a lifetime suspension, but they reduced to 12 days. 1926, the Chicago White Sox pitcher Ted Lyons no hits the Boston Red Sox 6-0 in just 67 minutes. That's amazing. 67 minutes of a 9-inning no hitter, and it only took 67 minutes. 1931, Babe Ruth becomes the first player to hit his 600 career home run. 1949, Philadelphia fans caused the A's to forfeit the game where they rioted over a trap line drive by Richie Ashburn, with the Giants leading 4-2 in the ninth inning. They were declared winners. 1982, the mustache with the curly, used to play for the Oakland A's, becomes the first pitcher to achieve 300 saves. Birthdays on this date: Jack Buck, sports announcer for the St. Louis Cardinals, was born in uh, Holyoke, Massachusetts. In 1936, Wilt Chamberlain, Hall of Fame center, 4-time MVP, 13-time All-Star, 2-time Finals MVP, born in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. 1954, Archie Hall of Fame back, 2-time Heisman Award winner, the only 2-time Heisman winner from 1974 and 75, was born in Columbus, Ohio. 1959, Jim McMahon, NCAA Hall of Fame quarterback, Super Bowl champion, Super Bowl 20 with the Chicago Bears, was born in Jersey City, New Jersey. And I want to speak on a note. Stephen A. Smith has been in the news a lot. Many of you all know who Stephen A. Smith is. If you don't know by now, he is the face of ESPN. He's making a ton of money. He been in the news lately where he just cannot get out of his own way. He's been not getting. He has a problem with everybody. It seemed like lately. Was awarded the Thumbs Down Award for journalism for his way of disparaging Black women in the news media. That includes former First Lady, other sports colleagues of his, Jasmine Crockett. So he's been in the news. He got the award from the NAJP, I think it's called. I'm saying it wrong, but he's and aside from D.L. Hughley, many celebrities and athletes across the nation So I just say to Stephen A. Smith, now I'm a big fan of his. Um, he makes a minimum of $112 million a year. He makes $100 million a year alone with ESPN. He makes another $12 million on Sirius XR Radio. Um, he's just a person that's he paid his dues. He paid his dues. Um, some people call him a fake announcer, a fake personality. Some of them call him names out of his own names, but to be disparaging against women, Black women, especially where he says that he was raised by his four older sisters, raised by his mother, and has 10 nieces and two daughters. He says he doesn't understand why. Well, I tell you, Stephen A. Smith, as much as I do love you and support you and still a fan and will remain as a fan, sometimes you might have to need to have a talk with your contemporaries. Not with me because I'm just a fan, but with your contemporaries, you might have to have a meeting, a serious meeting, because if they are talking about it, then you know something wrong. And you got Michael Wilbon, who's been around forever in the sports world. So um, I'm not throwing darts at you, Stephen A. Smith, but I wish that just lately you have issues with everybody. Everybody. You go on Fox News and cry to them about what's going on. Of all people, I understand you're a registered independent, but the Fox News, you're playing both sides of the race now. You're playing both sides. He was on Chris Cuomo's Newsday Nation, who's a very good friend of yours. He spoke highly of you. Um, but to go on Fox News, go on Fox, come on, really, that's the station that don't like people of color, especially Black people. Call it like I see it. Ladies and gentlemen, that is sports coming from somewhere between North Carolina and Virginia.
On the train. He is under fire a lot by his colleagues. He's under fire a lot. They talk about him a lot. Now, I don't know. I didn't hear that I probably heard likely that he visits Fox News, but sometimes there's a purpose for someone going on Fox News, maybe to get their point across as the opposition of Fox News. Was it anything like that?
Absolutely. Well, see, he's flirting with the idea of running for president. Flirted, you know, flirted with the idea, but he wants to be um, political. He knows his sports. Listen. Don't get me wrong. He's done a lot for the historical Black colleges and universities. He's done a lot, and he's brought his show on the road. So let's give credit where credit is due. He has helped other Black athletes to get started in the business that he's already in. But you can't play both sides of the race. Being an independent, we get that. Being an independent gives you the right to say what you want to say about the right and what's going on with the left. Totally understand that. We get that as an independent. I think sometimes I consider myself an independent because I got issues with Democrats too. I definitely got issues with Republicans as long as that dude is in the White House. Yeah, I got major issues with him. We're gonna speak more about him later with him and Mike Cohen. That's another story too that we're gonna touch on. But Stephen A. Smith is just, he's out there. It's hard to go against him totally because he's done so much great. He's done so much good. I read his book, Lifestyle, Childhood. Guy born and raised from Hollis, Queens. He's come a long way. But the way you attack women, and you have attacked women, come on.
Did you say that he was, I didn't hear too well, but did you say that he was flirting with the idea of going to Fox News?
Going to Fox News, no, take it. He was, no, for politics, for running for public office, a president. Because he said
Oh,
his thing is the way things are going right now, he might as well throw his hat into the ring, you know. But when
I think even the average person has that thought in mind. I
yeah,
thought
most
about it a couple of times. I mean, I'm joking about it because I couldn't see myself in politics anyway. But I always say that if a chimpanzee ran against Donald Trump, I would vote for the chimpanzee. A lot of people are looking at. First of all, let's face it. Let's call it just like it is. Um, Politicians, whether they're good politicians or not, it's hard for people to trust them.
yeah,
People are not trusting politicians anymore. I mean, they're thinking about it. They see people running for a certain office, and a lot of these people sound good. A lot of people know how to sell themselves in politics, and and sometimes, when they finally get what they want, when they finally get into their positions, then they revert. It's just like a certain person. I remember saying, that first day I'm going to bring prices down. First day one, I'm going to bring down the gas prices, and there's going to be Medicare for all. All of those kind of promises you hear, and then it's all reverted because I heard a lot of people say, "Hey, I'm just lucky that I was one of the ones that had the foresight to see. Well, okay, he's lying. He's not going to bring prices down. Prices are going to go sky high, and gasoline is going to go sky high." But a lot of people believed him. A lot of people believe him, and a lot of people
yeah,
who had voted for him 3 times believed him, and now they come back and they say, I don't know what I was thinking when I voted for this guy. You know,
too late, too late for that.
and now people they want sympathy now. They said, I'm sorry I did it. I'm sorry I ever voted for this guy. We live and learn. We live and learn. But at the same time, we all told you, you know, you vote for this guy and there's a
Yes,
storm
please.
coming.
I'll take it off, please.
I could hardly hear you.
I'm still here. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. No. Oh, that must have been a background person. Anyway, a lot of people make their promises, and you voted for them. You voted for these people, knowing that they were going to. Because we warned you. We warned you already. We warned you about these people, and you didn't listen. And you went out on the poll, and you went to the poll. I see when they had the voting for Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. I went to the poll because I always do my early voting. And I went to the poll and I saw people in their MAGA caps. I saw people in their Kamala Harris caps, you know, and people were getting angry. And the poll takers said, you can't come in here wearing that, which I think is in the defense to people wearing what they want to wear. When you wear a MAGA cap into going to a polling place, that shouldn't really have be an issue. That shouldn't be an issue. Just to be defending, or just to defend the people who do it. It shouldn't have to be an issue. It's a statement. It's a free statement, and you go in as long as they don't start trouble. But anyway, getting back to him. I'm not a fan of him like you are because I'm not sure. I don't watch his show that much. I hear him in passing, if it's talking about sports, then sports, but he talks more than sports, I hear, you know. But you stated your part on that. You stated your part on what he's doing, and who knows? Maybe he's listening. Maybe he's listening. But a lot of counterparts are not into.
If he's not listening, I'm pretty sure some of his fans are listening. Maybe some of his, when you are on a platform like here and others, it always gets around. So who knows?
Mhm.
And maybe it will get back to him. I'm just a voice who's a fan of his,
Yeah,
but recognize of his wrongdoing as well too. I may criticize. I may
yeah.
criticize him. I don't come and criticize him. as well right now hard. But I'm still
Yeah.
a fan of him because of what he has done for the Black community and for Black colleges. That cannot be ignored. He has cooked
Hmm.
a lot of people. So it's fair, it's fair. We're going to keep him. But I just think that he's just all over the place where he's just attacking people left and right. Listen, man is a wealthy man. But he
Yeah.
earned it. He worked his way to it. And people may not like it or like him. But to get through, he's done his
Yeah.
part. You know.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Well, again, with what you just said, you said you're not actually setting out to communicate with him. If he happens to hear, because you never know. We say something here, and you don't know whether or not these people it's going to get back to
right.
other people. You don't know that. You don't know that. Sometimes
It's
you
a
say
chain
things, and
reaction.
yeah, yeah. Or hearsay. They might not have seen the program, but they say, "Oh, did someone else told you I saw this and someone talked about you or something like that?" It happens. It happens. Communication. That's how we communicate. Anyway, just in case you're just watching us, you're joining in. The name of the show is called The Coffee Hour. That was Brian Camp, and he has the latest developments in today's world of sports. Thank you for that, Brian. R&B singer and soul singer Ruby Andrews has died at her home in Chicago last Thursday. Andrews was known for her big hits in the 60s. Songs like Casanova, Your Playing Days Are Over. Remember that? And You Made a Believer Out of Me, and Everybody Saw You. Andrews was born in Hollandale, Mississippi, and moved with her family in Chicago around 1953. Andrews was married to Robert Lester, a member of the Chicago vocal group The Shylights, until his death, January 2010. Andrews was 79. Hayden Panettiere, Hayden Panettiere, best known for her roles in Heroes, Nashville, and Scream's franchise, has died. And no cause of death was announced at her publicist. Her publicist, Casey Kitchen, said that her death was being investigated. Panettiere was born August 21st, 1989, in Palisades, New York, to actress Leslie Vogel and fire department captain Skip Panettiere, and she began appearing in commercials at 11 months old and went on to be a child actor on One Life to Live and The Guiding Light. She was 36 and would have been 37 today, the 21st she was born. Next, Netflix will reportedly be moving the beloved historical action drama Spartacus from the United States catalog in September. The show had previously been on a Netflix staple in the stream of early days before it was moved to in 2014 and spent over a decade unavailable on the platform. And less than a year after this triumph return has been gone again. And the show originally aired on Stars between 2010 and 2013, starring Andy Whitfield and later Liam McIntyre as Spartacus. Spartacus became and this is not the original Spartacus. The Spartacus became extremely popular for its unique blend of historical drama and gritty action, which mirrored blockbuster success stories like Gladiator and Braveheart. A massively successful movie that featured Bad Bunny in the cast will be coming available on digital streaming very soon, following its original release early this year in the film made over $1.1 billion at global box office. Toy Story 5 was released on digital platforms Tuesday and will be available on Amazon Prime Video and Apple TV, Fandango, at home, and more. Notably, Bad Bunny voices Pizza with sunglasses in the movie. A recent report details on Jon Stewart's potential future as the host of the Daily Show Stewart originally hosted the series from 1998 to 2015 and later returned to serve as the guest host on Mondays in 2024. He later renewed his deal with Paramount. According to reports, Paramount wants Jon Stewart to return to Comedy Central. The Daily Show, after the icon comedian's current contract with the conglomerate expires. And this comes after it was published on Sunday, claiming that The Daily Show has an uncertain future at Paramount. Birthdays today: singer Kim Sledge of Sister Sledge is 69 today. Actress Loretta Devine is 77. Singer Jackie DeShannon is 85. Actor, the late Clarence Williams III of Mod Squad is 87, or would have been 87. Singer Kenny Rogers would have been 88. Actor, director Melvin Van Peebles would have been 94. Jazz trumpeter Art Farmer would have been 98. Actor Jack Weston would have been 102. And Count Basie would have been 122 years old. So happy birthday to all of them, the people who are alive today. Also, the people who are no longer with us, but we continue to acknowledge you every year because you left us a wonderful legacy. And if you have a birthday coming up, by all means, get in contact with us and let us know so we can announce it on the air here and celebrate with you. Who knows? Maybe we'll light a candle with a cake or a little cupcake with a candle on it and sing it to you. Anyway, you can do that by contacting us by email or telephone. I have an email address. I'll give you that first. Email address is Frank Allan Prod. That's Frank Allan, Allan, Allan. Prod is Prod. That's short for Productions. Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. That's Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. Telephone number 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. Use that not only to let us know that you have a birthday, but for any reason, you can contact us and even say hi. We read them all, we hear them all. Okay, so let me give you that email address again, frankallanprod at AOL.com. That's frankallanprod at AOL.com. Telephone number 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. I have those movies for you, and this week I have 3 movies, direct from Turner Classic Movies, that I want you to add to your list in case you want to catch up on some movies. I'm going to throw my 3 cents in this week. Okay, we'll start with Stage Door from 1937, Katharine Hepburn and Ginger Rogers. That's Turner Classic Movies. That's Sunday at 10:15 a.m. Eastern. And then you have the Philadelphia Story from 1940. That's Turner Classic Movies. That stars Cary Grant, Katharine Hepburn, and James Stewart. Turner Classic Movies, Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern. And then Guess Who's Coming to Dinner from 1967. Spencer Tracy, Katharine Hepburn, and Sidney Poitier. Turner Classic Movies, Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And you can watch them all this weekend. And in case you can't watch them in real time, if you still have your VDR recorder, you could do that and watch them later on. Okay. And then you can go to Turner Classic Movies and pick out other movies that I didn't mention, only because these are my picks of the week. And you can add those to your list as well. And then you have the free movies, you have the pay-per-view movies, sporting events, children's programming, and documentaries, all right there at your disposal. Let me give you the movies once again. Stage Door, Katharine Hepburn, Ginger Rogers, Turner Classic Movies, Sunday at 10:15 a.m. Eastern. The Philadelphia Story, which was a spinoff to High Society with Frank Sinatra and Bing Crosby. And you can check this out with Cary Grant, Katharine Hepburn, James Stewart, Turner Classic Movies, Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern. And then Guess Who's Coming to Dinner with Spencer Tracy, Katharine Hepburn, and Sidney Poitier, Turner Classic Movies, Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. I hope you take a gander at these movies. And if you like them, let me know. Put some kind of note on my desk for Monday morning when you get to work and let me know how you like them. Well, Brian, I mentioned last night, and for the benefit of the people who didn't mention, who weren't here last night, you know, the royalty couple, Harry and Meghan, right? They're moving back home. They're moving back home, back to the UK, you know. Only this time they don't want to be involved in any work. They just want to be a normal family. They want to take their kids from California and go back to the UK. I wish them a lot of luck. I really do.
I wish them the best because, like what we talked about last, Harry decided. This is my opinion. In a monarchy of the royal family, is that the oldest or the firstborn male usually
Mhm.
will become next in line as
Yeah.
king. Okay, Queen Elizabeth was queen because their parents never had boys. It was two girls, Queen
Hmm.
Elizabeth and her younger sister. So after her father passed away, Queen Elizabeth took over. That's why you don't see that. It's usually the male. In this case, Harry and his brother, Harry is the middle child. They have a younger sister and they have an older brother. So the other brother is next in line after King Charles goes away. So what my point is that when Harry decided, he realized that once his brother is next in line, and once his brother started to have children, male children, this pushes Harry back further from being king. Because now
Hmm.
it's his older brother and his son. So it's the oldest son of his brother, which is his nephew, will be third in line. So the more children that they have, the more Harry's being pushed back. So he's probably thinking, hey, I'm not going to be king anyway. So let me just go out and do what I want to do. That's
Hmm.
just my opinion.
Hmm.
So that's how it works. I learned that through research, of course. And he chose to live in California, and his wife, who was an established actress, and he wanted to join the US of A nightlife and enjoyed it.
Hmm.
It's not saying he didn't love his family, but he chose to be part of a different life. Now
Hmm.
that he's back, he will not have the royalty or duties like he once had, but
Hmm.
he's back home where he was born and raised.
Hmm.
I hope I explained it. Sure. Yeah.
Good luck, lots of luck, lots of luck. I want to go back to that story I read earlier about Jon Stewart, and you already heard about that. They want to take Paramount wants to drop him and wants him to go back to Comedy Central. Nobody's stupid. Nobody's stupid. We're talking Paramount here, Paramount Plus. Why do they want to do that? I don't understand. Why? That's a rhetorical question, though. When I say why do they want to do that, that's rhetorical. But
Isn't
nobody's
Paramount
stupid.
Plus but isn't Paramount Plus or Paramount affiliated with CBS?
Yeah,
Okay.
nobody's stupid.
I didn't follow the story. You got to
Ladies and
tell me.
gentlemen, we do apologize for
Yeah,
the delay. We're locked
nobody's
down for
stupid
completion of the
because we know we're Paramount and Paramount and Warner Brothers. They're trying to fight. They were supposed to merge, and I got to keep up with that story. But nobody's stupid. Nobody's stupid. And
Yeah.
speaking of stupid, did you see the tour, the Vanity? What do they call it? The Vanity Project tour on the in front of the White House this week? They had
I
he
heard
was
about it.
touring. Yeah, he was touring people, touring the news media, saying, "Okay, we've got this, and we have this platform. You can go straight to this. This thing looks like a rotunda area where you can go and have cocktails, and then you can walk straight to the ballroom. Which they didn't even start yet. You can walk straight to the ballroom, and we have a little driveway for people to drive in, and all kinds of things. While at the
Yeah.
same time, people are trying to figure out how they're going to eat, how they're going to pay their bills and their mortgages and their rent, and how they're going to get their kids through school, how they're going to buy kids school clothing for September, how they're going to get their Medicare and their Medicaid and all of those things that are needed, all of the basic things that are needed. They're trying to struggle. We're struggling. And at the same time, he's taking people through tour of the White House with this vanity project.
Look,
I'm through.
he got two more. I've heard about that. Right now, he has 2 years left. All he's doing is building up his legacy, a legacy where he wants to be known as the greatest president of the United States, which is not happening. I'm telling you right now, this is what he's doing. It's all about money. Look what's happening at the Abraham Lincoln um, 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 battleship. Soldiers were jumping off the things like that, and it's just crazy at a time where these things are happening and these things are not going away and everything. So he's he's not interested in this war. He's not. He can't find a way out of this war. So who gets hurt? It's the American people. Now you just talk about somebody being stupid. What about somebody selling his soul to the devil? Michael Cohen is now trying to make up friends with Donald Trump. No, you sold yourself to the devil. Now you want to be friends. You're trying to get a way out of this. We're in a bad time right now between our U.S. soldiers, Michael trying to build a legacy for himself. And that in the right, we're not right now. The American people are starving. We're losing money. We're losing. We can't think about gas.
Mm.
I almost got stuck out there last week. I went to a gas station. I was very low on gas, and you got to tap the gas pump and everything. And I didn't have all my credit cards. I just had a debit card, and it says we do not take debit. I said, oh, you know what I said? I said, I
Mm.
don't know what to do now. So, luckily I chanced it. I turned off my AC, turned off the radio, because, that helps preserve gas. I made it through, made it home, got some credit cards, and was able to get gas. But it shouldn't have to be that.
Yeah,
All of this because of this president here.
yeah.
It's all about
Warren
legacy.
Warren just said that we should look up Doris Miller, and she received a Navy Cross, an aircraft carrier that's going to be named after Donald Trump. This
Yeah, I
guy
read
wants
about
his
that
brand
story.
on everything. He wants his brand on
Yeah,
everything. They didn't
yeah,
even take that at the Kennedy Center. Do you realize the tarp is still up there?
yeah, because he's trying to get back his name on there. Now it's
Yeah,
supposed to go to a vote. So
yeah.
yeah, with Carolyn
People are
Kennedy
asking
being
questions. People are
yeah,
asking questions. Why are they hiding that? They're thinking that maybe they didn't actually take the name down. They took the name down. They took the name down. But it's ridiculous. He wants a brand on everything. So eventually, he'll convince his followers with a hot branding iron to bend over so I could put my name on it, and they'll do it.
of
They'll
course
do
they
it.
would do it. Of course they would do it. Of course, it's all about his legacy. I mean, his phones are not his cell phones are not doing well. I mean,
Yeah, I
who wants
know.
to buy a phone?
I know. The cell phones are not doing well. People are starting to wake up. He sold about everything that you could think of. Uh, Here's a guy that claims he doesn't drink, but he sells booze, uh, wines, I should say, and he sells Bibles. And I'm pretty sure it's not your traditional Bible. It's probably the Bible according to him.
According
He's
to the
selling gold
according to
sneakers.
the Apostle Donald Trump. Yeah,
Yeah,
you picture that, please.
selling gold sneakers, watches, crypto
I mean,
coins.
I'm laughing because I'm being sarcastic about this, but it's really a damn shame.
Yeah,
Shame on him.
yeah. Well, listen, they always say, we reap what we sow. What goes around comes around. And we all have a debt and we all have a price to pay before we leave this earth.
Absolutely.
And and he didn't even start paying it. So it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time. You get caught. Well, Brian, enjoy the rest of your trip here to New York. We won't get to see you, but make sure that you're back here. You're going to be back here next week, of course, right?
The good Lord says yes, I will be back ready for action.
Okay. We look forward to seeing you then. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, for the rest of you, please check us out next Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern for Talk Back Live. We're right here. Brian Camp, my co-host, will be around with me. And the latest developments in today's world of sports. And then you meet us back here the next Friday at 10 a.m. for more of the coffee hour. Brian Camp with sports, and you, me, and the rest of the world. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, have yourself a great day, a great weekend, and we'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.
You've been watching the Coffee Hour with your host Frank Allan. The producer has been Al Dale. Technical assistant Dave Taylor. Research by Sandy Pierce. And I'm your announcer Donna Stenke. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time on the Coffee Hour.